everybody, welcome back. Now, going from talking about pedophilia and priests and whatever, talk about a different pack of bloodsuckers. Some of you might know that I kind of have a thing for vampires. Well, there used to be a TV show out that ran from 1992 to 1996 called Forever Night. Well, I happen to own all 3 seasons of Forever Night at the house. I was recently watching the first season, of Forever Night. Well, in season 1, and I'm going to kind of talk about a couple of episodes from season 1 here, not in order, but in season 1, there's like 22, 23 episodes in season 1. Well, in season 1, in episode 21, there's this blood-headed female vampire that I can't remember the character's name. What happens is Nick, basically drains her dry, and LaCroix, the master vampire, turned the girl into a vampire after Nick had fed from the girl when she was still human. Well, and the blonde-headed girl vampire, finds Nick in 1992 and tries to kill him. And when they're fighting out in the junkyard, my thing was, why didn't Nick say to this girl, well, why are you coming after me, because she's like, you fed from and raped me and blah, blah, blah. Well, she threw herself at him. Like the old, rape thing. It's like, she threw herself at him. Well, she kind of did, and the vampire, on the other hand, took advantage of her and everything. Well, and my thing is, if I'd been Nick, I'd have said to her, I'd been like, hey, look, why are you not, why in the past, however many centuries, didn't you go hunt LaCroix down and take your vengeance out on his hide, instead of blaming me for everything, Since, it's clearly not my fault that you became a vampire. I wasn't the one that turned you into a vampire. LaCroix was the one that did that to you, Of course, they end up fighting, and then, Nick gets her to leave him alone, and, Nick goes and saves the captain. But, earlier in the season, in episode number 3 of season 1 of Forever Night, there's the episode called Father Figure. Well, what happens is there's this little boy, Daniel, that tries to steal Jeanette's purse. Jeanette is Nick's sister and one of LaCroix's other children. Well, what happens is during the course of the show, Daniel gets turned into a vampire by LaCroix. Well, Natalie, at the end of the show, asks Nick whatever became of that kid. Daniel, Daniel had been turned into a vampire by LaCroix, probably right around World War II. Nick never answered the question. Never does. Even all the way up through, episode 21, he never answered the question. And one thing I've said before is, I think they need to do, like, a spin-off of that show, something about LaCroix himself, because LaCroix always struck me as the kind of guy that, he would have been fun to see as having his own TV show, with Nigel Bennett as the star of the show. I wouldn't want to see anybody else in that role except him, and I've said that before. It's like, about like his life and times, and I would have it pick up from, like 2011, and just kind of do like flashbacks from like the TV show Forever Night and everything. But, one thing as far as like Daniel goes, in episode 13 of season 1, whatever did happen to him, did Jeanette, finally get tired of him and destroy him, or did they pawn him off on another vampire, like, Louis kind of did with Claudia, sort of, in Interview with a Vampire, or what happened? You know, it never ever comes up that, you know, what happened as a kid. But yeah, I seriously would love to see Nigel Bennett do, you know, LaCroix again and have his own TV show as LaCroix. But anyway, I'm going to pause here because I got something else I want to say. Alright, so hang on.